This truck is a joint effort between Atomik-RC and Venom-RC, meaning the truck and all components that make up the rolling chassis are straight from Atomik. It has the Ford Raptor F-150 body that is identical to the truck driven by Brian Deegan. All of the electronics are powered by Venom, from the waterproof brushless ESC with dustproof on-off switch, 4-pole 2400 kV motor, 30C 3S 2700 mAh 11.1 volt LiPo and metal geared servo, delivering 92 ounces of torque in 0.14 seconds at 6 volts, all covered underneath a nice protective body shell / dust cover. Out of the box, it is ready to run. You only need to install some batteries in the transmitter. It includes a hard case battery, detailed previously, and a very basic charger, so you're really ready to run straight out of the box. The only issue is the EC3 connector. Instead of changing this out on both the ESC and the battery, I'm just going to purchase an adapter so that I can run other batteries in this vehicle. I'll also not be using the included charger, as I prefer a more professional and programmable balance charger. The transmitter has the normal throttle and steering trims, as well as steering and throttle dual rates, and servo reversing as well. It's a nice radio. It's a bit light, but the decals and art on the transmitter really help sell the whole package. The body shell is a bit thin, but otherwise very similar to other 1/8 and 1/10 scale truck bodies. They also throw in a decal sheet so you can further customize your body shell. Underneath the Lexan body you have a nice dust cover. This protects against moisture and debris, keeping your electronics nice and clean. The shocks are aluminum capped. They are not full aluminum, but you can purchase full aluminum from the many hop-ups available for this truck, and I'll touch more on that later. These shocks are good. They are threaded and they are adjustable. Now, the standard with any truck is plastic everything from A-arms to the chassis, and you guys know it's all plastic. This is not the case with this truck. After pulling it out of the box, I immediately noticed the aluminum shock towers, aluminum bodied shocks, Revo spec 17mm hex hubs, beefy steel dog bones from the wheels to the 3 differentials, heavy duty motor mounts, as well as front and rear sway bars. Not a lot of plastic here. The only real thing that's plastic, and what they call it is nylon fused, is the tub. It seems very durable, and it is metal where it counts up in the front. To top it all off, there is a full line of hop-up parts. Most sensorless setups have massive issues with cogging at low speeds, yet with this truck you can drive it very slowly and precisely like a fine Italian sports car, then pull the throttle and watch it turn into something NASA should have given clearance to launch. Another feature I found very enticing is that when going into reverse, the truck doesn't shoot backwards at full throttle. Instead, it gently starts going at roughly 25% power until brakes are applied. I put the truck through every kind of torture I could think of to see if parts would break, and it wasn't breaking. I ran this truck against some of the competition's trucks as well as a few buggies, and it kept up with them just fine and actually owned them in the straights. The only weak point was the high-speed cornering. Aside from scratches on the aluminum skid plate up front and a little body rash, it still looked like it did after 20 packs, just like it did when it was brand new. So I'm going to do a quick comparison to the Traxxas Slash 4x4 because I feel as though the Traxxas Slash is one of the most popular short course trucks available. I find this truck to be the ultimate contender against the Traxxas Slash. For many years, Traxxas has held the title in the 2- and 4-wheel drive short course as far as durability and bashing goes, but I think the Atomik short course truck is an excellent contender. The Traxxas Slash includes the VXL system, which is a Valenion 3500 kV motor with a 200 amp ESC. The Atomik short course truck has a Venom 2400 kV motor and a 70 amp ESC. This would seem to give the Slash an advantage, but the speed of both trucks on an 11.1 volt battery is on average around 45 miles per hour. Changing the gearing on either truck can easily get you to speeds over 50. Both trucks can handle an 11.1 volt battery, but the Traxxas Slash includes a 7.4 volt 2S battery, while the Atomik short course truck includes an 11.1 volt 3S battery. The Atomik truck is shorter and wider, with a wider wheelbase than the Slash. Both trucks use a 13-tooth pinion, but the Slash uses a 54-tooth spur gear, while the Atomik uses a 44-tooth gear. Of course, both can be adjusted to fit your liking. During my testing of the Slash, I stripped the front drive shaft gear that goes into the front diff. For some reason, Traxxas didn't use a metal gear like they did in the rear, but a plastic one. To make things worse, the front and rear cannot be swapped. You can, however, obtain metal replacements for the front via an aftermarket hop-up or upgrade. The good news for both trucks is that the spare parts are available. You can get stock and hop-up parts very easily for both trucks. Both trucks have a high center of gravity and will tend to roll. That's bad news for racers, but doesn't matter too much to bashers and those of you who just want to drive and have fun. The Slash only has a front and rear differential, whereas the Atomik short course truck has a front, rear, and center differential. Both trucks offer adjustable shock towers, but the Slash has plastic towers, whereas the Atomik has the stock aluminum shock towers. You can adjust the toe and camber on both trucks. The stock springs on the Slash 4x4 are terrible. They are plastic capped with plastic bodies, and they're just awful. They're set up to make the truck look cool. They sag in the rear, they roll in the rear, and it makes the Slash really bouncy. Bad news for racers, but again, bashers shouldn't care too much. The stock springs or shocks on the Atomik short course truck are good. They aren't great, but they are better than what's on the stock Slash. What's interesting is that Atomik-RC even sells upgraded parts for the Traxxas Slash that they make themselves. All of that being said, I checked a few popular sites and I found the Traxxas Slash 4x4 VXL ready to run with a battery, charger, transmitter, etc. for $479. The cost of the Atomik Metal Mulisha short course truck is only $299. That's a $180 difference that you can use to buy batteries or upgraded parts for the Atomik short course truck with money to spare. You decide on which short course truck you want to spend your cash on. I'm not a racer, so I'll take the Atomik. Before I wrap it up, I want to show you the option parts available for this truck. First off, they offer a much beefier front and rear heavy-duty shock towers with more mounting holes than you'll know what to do with for dialing in your suspension geometry. To go with overkill super heavy duty theme, they offer super beefy front and rear aluminum lower A-arms, full aluminum front and rear shocks with tons of adjustment, pre-filled with oil and anodized with hefty springs. Keeping with the anodized theme, they also offer aluminum front and rear chassis braces, crucial to keeping the pan stiff. And the most important upgrades to me were the heavy-duty anodized C-hubs, steering knuckles, and rear hubs. Rounding out the must-have items for this truck is the anodized aluminum front upper suspension plate, which not only holds the upper suspension, but also the dual rack steering, which eliminates any chance of loose steering. So that's my review. I hope you got what you were looking for by watching this. Overall, this is a very nice truck with lots of customizable options. I believe that it can compete with the Traxxas Slash and other short course trucks on the market with ease. Thanks for watching. Please rate and subscribe and ask any questions or leave comments in the section below.